Hello, people. Arsenal have beaten Inter Milan 3-1 away at San Siro. Last year, it was a rough watch. This year, it was a very entertaining and very nice game where Arsenal came on top and to some degree also very convincingly. 3-1 by the scoreline. Jesus with two goals, two great goals, two poachers type of goals to be honest, and that was actually very nice to see. One was straight from a bad shot from Timber, let's just put it that way. But Jesus wasn't offside, right place, right time, and he slots it in the back of the net. Other one was a corner, absolutely unmarked. Again, set piece again, ole. And the third one was the most amazing goal for me, for Arsenal in general. Arguably one of the best counter-attacking goals Arsenal have scored this season, if not the best goal in general Arsenal have scored this season, in my opinion. Just due to the sheer how Inter Milan had a corner, we won the ball, passed it out wide to Martinelli. Gyökeres already was making a run. Martinelli does something we don't see too much. This is the Brazilian stuff from Martinelli. We would love to see a Trivela pass into the front lines where Gyökeres attacks with pace. Obviously, a bit of miscommunication between the Inter defenders. Saka, I think it was, who got the ball, or Trossard, or someone like that. And at the end of the day, Gyökeres then with the sublime finish, top corner, goalkeeper nearly got to it, but never got there enough to put us 3-1 up. Did a fantastic job, and Arsenal basically at the moment are 7 games, 7 wins in Champions League. Yesterday we made a very, very large and very, very important step towards winning the Champions League group stage, at least that. And obviously we have 1 game left against Kairat Almaty at home. It's gonna be interesting to see what kind of 11 we even put out, to be honest, if you ask me, because Merino is not available. He got a yellow card. He's gonna miss the next game in Champions League, which should not affect us too badly because we have the players to utilize, we have the players to play, and against Kairat we should not actually need the best available team. The starting 11 as well, it was quite interesting starting 11 if you ask me. When Arsenal put out yesterday, I was a bit shocked as well, but mostly I was shocked about the center back pairing, which was a bit of definitely a bit of a random one, because obviously Timber went back to right back spot. That goes without saying that is his best position. I don't want to see him at left back one single bit, right? But Saliba, obviously, and Mosquera started. Yes, Mosquera got subbed off. Gabriel came on in 75th minute. But Mosquera actually came in. We did very, very good. Sorry. And Eze started, which was fantastic to see. I'm not going to lie. He didn't have the best of games, but there were some moments where he was threatening. And it's very, very visible to a degree that the Champions League football, at least right now, in the league stage, is very suited for Arsenal. Right? It's very suitable, very, very going well. Merino started as well, which was interesting, obviously. Gabriel Jesus started, and then Gyökeres came on as well and scored. Good impact. Also, we cannot obviously ignore the fact that Inter Milan also had chances. Sucic scored a phenomenal goal to make it 1-1, of course. And they had a few more chances here or there. Half chances, like counters and everything, but they didn't manage to capitalize at the end of the day. They didn't manage to capitalize, which played into Arsenal's hands. But again, as I said, we are top in Champions League. And now that raises me the question: who is going to stop Arsenal? Obviously, in group stages, in league stage, it's done and dusted. We might as well forget about it to a degree. We are through. We're gonna play in the knockout stages. Most likely, we're gonna finish first in the league stage. It's very hard at the moment to imagine a team that is playing better than Arsenal. At the moment, right, specifically at this given time, because we are top of Champions League, we are top of Premier League, because our defense is always holding up. We concede 1 goal max per game, pretty much, because we have conceded 2 goals, 3 times this season, which means Arsenal are always within a shot to win a game, to draw a game. There are pretty much almost no games, very few, where we don't even score. So we are constantly a threat. We are constantly dangerous. Over the years, obviously, the team, the players specifically, have built up experience. Mikel Arteta as well has picked up the experience. And they're starting to put it to the test. Obviously, in Champions League, it's a different story to Premier League. We might not play the most entertaining football, especially in Premier League, let's be real, because teams definitely set up against us much differently. Let's just put it that way, which is many times very dull, very boring to watch, where you have a sleep mid-game. right? But in Premier League, that's the only way how teams are actually only within a shot of getting something, or at least give themselves even a tiny bit of chance to get something against Arsenal. In Champions League, it is more open, it is more wide, it is more threatening, and it is more into Arsenal's hands. And as I said before, who is gonna stop Arsenal? In Premier League, we will see, right? In Premier League, we will see. In Champions League, obviously, in group stages, too early to tell. Lots can change. January window is still open for a few days, well, to quite a bit over a week. Anyone can sign anyone, and all this stuff can happen basically. But over 2 legs, to a degree, anyone can eliminate anyone. Let's just put it that way, right? But at the same time, the way Arsenal are playing, the way we are setting ourselves up, the depth we have, and how we didn't even have all the best players yesterday on the pitch in the starting 11, and we still got the job done. When we put on some main subs, like Rice came on, Gabriel came on, Gyökeres, players started to come on, we still maintained the level, and to a degree even increase the level, right? Which obviously now raises the question. There are maybe a few handful of teams that can, even less than a handful of teams that can throw a proper challenge at Arsenal on their given day, but overall, long term, at the moment at least. I know I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but it's very hard to imagine anyone throwing a proper challenge. Maybe Real Madrid could, depending on situation. PSG beat us last year in semifinals just because they were better than us, let's be real. And we were not experienced enough as a team in these instances, in these situations, Champions League, semi-final, the occasion, to actually do something. Now that we have it, we're going to be much more different team this season in these circumstances, right? Maybe Bayern Munich over the course of 2 legs, because we saw how it went last year. We won against PSG at home, 2-0, and then in elimination stages they absolutely annihilated us to a degree, right? It might something to be like that with Bayern if we face them in the knockout stages, right? Because knockout stage football, it's 10 times more different than actually league stage football, because you have 8 games, you can fix your errors, and there is still chance for recovery. In knockout stages over 2 legs, well, you have no room for error. Pretty much no room for error. You have to be on top of it for 180 minutes, well, let's just say 200 plus minutes, including extra time, well, added time, if you go to extra time, even more. So overall, throughout the course of the season, Arsenal have played very consistent football. Best defensive team arguably in Europe at the moment. You could say it like that. And when you have that, it's very hard to bet against that. Let's just put it that. It's very hard to bet against Arsenal in those circumstances. Attack, yes. At times it is struggling. But again, it is struggling in Premier League. If we can figure that out, especially those mid-low blocks, how to pick them apart, how to be more direct, more threatening, the world even more is going to be our own oyster, right? But with Arsenal, it looks like players have matured. They have more experience, obviously. Mikel Arteta as well. For me, Mikel Arteta this season, to win something, had to write last season's wrongs into positive light. We are doing that in Premier League, hence why we are top of the table, 7 points clear. Wish it was double digits because, let's be real, it should be double digits to a degree, right? So we'll see how that's gonna go, but Arsenal, at the moment at least, look very unstoppable in Champions League. 7 games, 7 wins. If I quickly look at Champions League table, obviously Bayern Munich still have to play a game, right, in Champions League. Bayern Munich today are playing against Royal Union from Belgium. So you would expect that to being a win for them because they play also at home. So they're going to be, again, 3 points behind us, right? But I think with our last game being against Kairat, I think it's pretty much a given chance that we're going to be good, done, and dusted in that regard. But overall, yeah, 20 goals scored, only 2 conceded in Champions League. 2 goals conceded. One against Bayern Munich and one against, I'm not blanking on the second one, I'm very sorry about that. But we are in a very good spot. It looks like it's gonna be a very interesting ride once we get into that next stage. Obviously, the luck of the draw might play a very big part in this, because let's just say if Barcelona doesn't qualify in top 8 and we get Barcelona in that first round, it's gonna be right neck on neck, in my opinion, because no matter how you look at it, as I said, handful of teams that can go toe-to-toe with Arsenal, like Barcelona. I would say, of course, Real Madrid, because yes, we beat them last year, but you never can exclude them. Especially Arbeloa now has been appointed the manager, anything can happen. If we look at other players, other teams, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, as I said, Barcelona, maybe PSG if they get their shit together, so to speak, and maybe some other ones that can try and shut us down. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with teams like Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Napoli, and all these teams. Obviously, yesterday Man City lost to Bodo Glimt as well, 3-1. And that win for Bodo Glimt was very kind of crucial because that win puts them within a shot with the one game to go to qualify for the next stage. Their last game is against Atletico Madrid away, which is not a great game for them. I think that could be too tough of a task for them to handle. Spurs are fourth somehow at the moment. That's before Atalanta have played a game, Atletico, Liverpool as well. All these teams have played games. But Arsenal, they are on cloud 9. And I'm very happy about it as an Arsenal fan. The question is, can we maintain this level? And when it comes to crunch time, can we step up even more? That for me is the big question, because if we shoot our all of our power, if we show all our cards right now, the knockout stage is gonna be again a miserable disaster. But if we keep cards close to our chest, if we have the rotation, some adjustments, and we can kick on from there, more power to us. Let me know what you think about the game, what you thought about the game yesterday in the comments below. Let me know, can Arsenal win the Champions League with this form they are in? Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and see you very, very soon. Peace.